Game 2 of the night here from the Clark Athletic Center. UMass Boston and UMass Dartmouth now getting set on the men's side after the women's team for both schools just played on the same very court in Boston, Massachusetts. So we welcome you inside the broadcast here from the Clark Athletic Center. Joe Weil with you. We appreciate you joining us here on the LEC Network. UMass Boston comes in 9-9 overall, 5-5 in conference action. The Corsairs are having another fantastic season. They won the Little East Conference Tournament a year ago. They're 15-2 now this season and 7-1 in conference action. Perfect at home. On the road, they're a ho-hum 6-2, so still fantastic on the road. And it should be a fun matchup between these two clubs as they get set tonight. Let's take a look at the stats coming into this one on both sides. And first, we can first start with the all-time series. UMass Dartmouth leads at 62-19. UMass Boston has split or won the season series each of the past 4 seasons, so they played much better as of late. UMass Dartmouth did win the last meeting between these two teams on January 17th of this year. Marcus Azor, 23 points, 13 assists, and 12 rebounds on 10 of 17 shooting in that contest. Let's take a look now at the team leaders. Marcus Azor with 17.9 points per game. He has been phenomenal again. That's 4th in the Little East Conference in points per game. 2nd in rebounds, also with 9.8 rebounds per game. And then assists per game, he is among the best again. He's actually the top player in the Little East Conference in assists per contest. On the other side for UMass Boston, it's Charles Mitchell leading the way scoring. He's 3rd in the conference in points per game. At various points throughout the season, he actually has led the entire conference in points per game. And let's take a look now at the key matchup to watch in this one. And as I just mentioned, both the names, Marcus Azor and Charles Mitchell, 2 of the top scorers in the conference. And both of them can get it done offensively. There's no doubt about it. And it should be fun to watch both of those players go head to head as they get set to get this one started in roughly 6 or 7 minutes. Before we get back to what's going down on the court, let's take a look back at the last time these two teams played in Boston. It was back on February 19, 2020. It was on senior night for UMass Boston that night, and the Beacons were able to pull away for a 10-point victory roughly 2 years ago. Let's take a look back into the time machine at that last matchup here from Beantown.
This evening is for junior guard Charles Mitchell, who last week became the 14th player in program history to record his 1,000th career point.
Boyd versus Azor, this could be fun. Boyd all the way to Kid. Boyd,
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, the master of my sea. I was broken from a young age, taking my soak into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took at me, shook at me, killing me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message from the veins, speaking my lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the my love, my God, it can't they never did, ever lived, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke up when it rained down. It rained down like.
2 years ago, the last time these two teams met up. And a lot has happened since that last meeting, but here we are, back here at the Clark Athletic Center. And great to have fans in the stands. It should be a fun crowd atmosphere tonight with fans back allowed at this facility. Let's take a look now at the starting lineups. We'll begin with UMass Dartmouth. And here is the five that they're going to be throwing out today in this matchup. Marcus Azor, as we mentioned in our pregame, he's among the five, and that is, of course, no surprise. Adam Seablum among them as well. Jake Ashworth, who was all Little East first team last year, and then he is joined by Jackson Zancan, one of the forwards, along with Sean Leahy. So 3 guards, 2 forwards, the starting lineup for UMass Dartmouth. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup for UMass Boston.
My name is Charlie Mitchell, senior guard, Roxbury.
Charles Mitchell, senior guard, Roxbury, Massachusetts.
The name's Ikalua. I'm a freshman wing from Somerset, New Jersey.
Tommy Burris, junior shooting guard from Dalton, Mass.
Malik Lorquette, junior forward, Sharon, Mass.
So that's the starting five for UMass Boston, looking to pick up a victory against the Corsairs after falling to them earlier this season, 88-58, the final back on January 17th. So looking to avenge that loss. As Marcus Azor just being announced. Take a look at the keys to the game now, and these are really going to be the keys for the Beacons. They have to avoid another slow start in this one. They've been prone to that this season, but they also have to protect the three-point line, and three-point shooting is something that the Corsairs do extremely well. They come in shooting around 39% on the season in terms of three-point field goal percentage. That's the best in the conference. They're best in the conference in points per game, second best in field goal percentage overall. They're also the best in free throw percentage as well. So they do it all extremely well. And we mentioned Charles Mitchell at the beginning of our broadcast and how vital he is to the offense for the Beacons. They're going to need more guys to step up offensively. So they need not just him, but they need his brother Charlie Mitchell. They need Tommy Burris to step up on the offensive end. Not to mention Malik Lorquette, who can produce some big games, especially in the paint. So they're going to need more than Charles Mitchell to come away with a victory in this one. But we saw on the women's side how healthy the program is for the Corsairs. You would obviously say the same thing for UMass Dartmouth in terms of what they've been able to do year in, year out over the long tenure of Brian Baptiste, who's now in his 39th season at the helm for the Corsairs. And as I mentioned before, they won the Little East Conference tournament. They're 12th in their history, and they did it by winning by 40 points in the championship game. It was against Keene State. They beat them 108-68 in that contest. It was a shorter season last year, just 10 games due to the condensed schedule via everything happening COVID-wise. But that being said, we got fans in the stands. COVID's getting better around the city of Boston and around Massachusetts and the country. And here we are, getting set to play a game in front of fans. Ball is up. Malik Lorquette going up for the tip alongside Jackson Zancan, and Lorquette hits it out of bounds. So it's going to be Corsairs basketball. A lot of muscle on that one, but play is underway just 2 seconds in. Our 3 officials for this second game at the Clark Athletic Center tonight: David Sweeney, Chris Bennett, and Jeff Adams. Jake Ashworth floats it up top to Leahy. Back to Ashworth, stops at the free throw line. Kicks out to the right wing for Jackson Zancan. Now Marcus Azor. Bounce pass down low through traffic, and it's taken away from Leahy. Good defense from the Beacons to start. Charlie Mitchell bringing it into the front court. He's coming off a 16-point performance on 5 of 8 shooting. That was against Plymouth State University on Friday. Shot clock at 8. Charles Mitchell on the attack. Floater in the lane, hits off the heel. Rebound from Alua. He can't finish, but it is Charles Mitchell who gets the ball in traffic. Alua has it stolen away. Pass intended for Lorquette, picked off. Corsairs now on the attack. Seabloom pulling up in the paint, gets it to go off the window. The Corsairs take the early lead, and it's Adam Seabloom providing the first 2 points. Coming in averaging 13.5 points per game. 3 from Tommy Burris is good. Tommy Burris with his 14th triple of the season. He has started every game for UMass Boston since Keene State on January 15th as the Corsairs retake the lead. Down low, Leahy is fouled. Going to go against Ike Alua, making his 3rd start of the season. His 2 starts came against Salem State and Rhode Island College coming into tonight. So 4-3 the score. Seabloom dribbles it out with Alua on him. Charles Mitchell got a hand on it. It goes out to Azor, who flips it in. Got that one to spin home. Marcus Azor, the leading scorer in the conference. Beg your pardon, 4th leading scorer in the conference. Makes it a 6-3 game. Charles Mitchell on the right wing. Dribbles under a screen from Lorquette. Azor pokes it away, and Mitchell, frustrated, is going to stay Beacons basketball. Of course, you have the twin brothers, Charlie and Charles, on this Beacons team. Charlie out to Charles, right wing, to the corner to Burris. Fed down low to Lorquette. He goes up. Shot comes out. Hit off the front of the rim and then spilled away. So it stays a 6-3 game. Azor shut off by Mitchell to the corner, now to the right wing, swung up top. Zancan's 3 is good. It's now a 9-3 lead for the Corsairs, and a timeout taken by UMass Boston's Jason Harris. So a quick timeout taken by UMass Boston. 17:28 here in the first half. We'll take a quick break. Corsairs up by 6. Back after this on the LEC Network.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Corsairs a perfect 4 of 4 to start shooting. UMass Dartmouth with a 9-3 lead over UMass Boston. 17:24 left here in the first half. Here from Boston, Massachusetts. Ike Alua to Burris. Burris in the paint, pulls up. It comes out again. Second time already in this game, a shot has gone in and out of the net. In and out of the basket. Leahy, nice spin move inside. The Corsairs are now a perfect 5 of 5 to start tonight from the field. And it's an 11-3 lead for the Corsairs. Mitchell to Alua. Charlie Mitchell now handling the rock, getting it to Charles Mitchell. Fed down low to Lorquette. Good ball movement by the Beacon, swung out left wing, but the Corsairs have read it the entire time. Here's Charlie Mitchell, floater off the window, good. Beautiful play there from Charlie Mitchell to cut the deficit to 6. Jackson Zancan out to Adam Seabloom. Now it's Marcus Azor with it. Shut off, feeds it to the corner. Leahy on the attack, bounce pass down low, blocked under the basket by Lorquette. Now they say it's a foul. So Zancan will go to the line for 2 shots. Malik Lorquette, leader in the conference in block shots per game, coming in at 3.1 blocks per contest. He's now whistled for his first personal. And that'll be a part of the attack for the Corsairs tonight to get him into foul trouble. First shot doesn't fall from the free throw line for Zancan, who enters this game 20 of 31 from the charity stripe. Emmanuel Zayas comes into the game. Ike Alua grabbing some rest now. So the only member of the starting five out now is Alua as Zayas comes in. Zayas averaging roughly 5 points per game. Swings it out right side to Charlie Mitchell. Mitchell, floater, short. Leahy the board out to Azor. Azor is fouled, flips it up, hits what is beyond the top with a backboard. So 2 shots coming for Marcus Azor after this timeout. 11-5 the score. Corsairs leading over the Beacons. 15:46 left in the first half. Back after this on the LEC Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Marcus Azor going to the free throw line for 2 shots. He was just fouled right before the media timeout. The Corsairs off to a 5 of 5 start from the floor shooting. Azor can't connect on the first of 2. They are 0 of 3 to start from the charity stripe. Their last foul came against Charlie Mitchell. That's his first personal foul. 3 team fouls for the Beacons to start. Second one's up and in from Azor, so it's a 7-point lead for the Corsairs, who are coming off a 76-60 victory over Keene State. That was just 2 days ago. Charles Mitchell thought about a 3. Now to Zayas at the top of the arc. He's shut off. Clock at 15. Zayas, left wing 3. He's blocked by Azor. Azor stands in at 6'2", and those long arms got to the basketball. Ashwood left wing to Zancan. Now to Azor, the leader of this Corsairs team. Azor down low. Zancan in the paint, can't finish. Good defense from the Beacons. It's thrown off of Burris. Zayas gets it, and he's fouled by Leahy. First personal against Leahy. First team foul for the Corsairs, and he comes out of the contest as Isaac Percy comes in. Isaac Percy appearing in his 14th game of the year. Charles Mitchell in the paint, floats it up, can't get it to drop in. On the attack, Seabloom finishes. You can see the talent that this Corsairs team has both offensively and defensively already. They're now 6 of 7 from the field and also holding the Beacons to 2 of 9 shooting. Zayas on the attack, left-hand hook, too strong. And the Beacons come in with the best defense of the conference. Floater doesn't fall from Seabloom, but the finish from Azor as he's able to tap it in. (16-5), Corsairs leading. Lorquette out to Mitchell. Bounce pass to Lorquette. Through 2, can't finish. Ashworth, 3, no good. Rebound Percy, he lays it in. Timeout taken by UMass Boston. It's now an 18-5 lead, and the Corsairs are on a 16-2 run. 13:48 left here in the first half, 18-5. It's going to be a full timeout taken here by UMass Boston, and it has been a tough go for them to start. 2 of 11 from the field, 8 of 11 are the Corsairs to start shooting. 6 points for Jackson Zancannon. He's not even their top dog in terms of scoring. He's actually 3rd on the team. Check that, 4th on the team in scoring at 11.8 points per game. But it just goes to show the offensive firepower that the Corsairs have. You have Marcus Azor at 17.6 points per game. After that, it's Adam Seabloom around 13.5 points. And he actually, sandwiched in between them is Jake Ashworth. So those are the top 4. It goes Azor, Ashworth, Seabloom, and then Zancan. And they have jumped out to an 18-5 lead. And UMass Boston looking for answers on both ends, not just offensively, but defensively. And a slew of substitutions come in. Michael Walsh is into the contest for the first time. Malik Brooms is in the contest as well. Bryson Henry also in the game. Only 2 starters still out there, Charlie and Charles Mitchell. Brooms to Charles Mitchell. Swung left side to Charlie. Charlie on the baseline, and it's lost on the ground. Almost was a jump ball. And a foul called against UMass Boston. It's going to be Malik Brooms whistled for the foul. And I beg your pardon, a timeout taken. So they're going to say that Malik Brooms called the timeout. So it's still 18-5. Just a 30-second timeout taken. The crowd continues to fill up here at the Clark Athletic Center. What a great sight to see. Having personally done a game here without fans, it's just not the same, obviously. And just to get some more life into the building, it's fantastic. And the fans hoping that this Beacons team can get back into it a little bit. Corsairs have jumped out to a 13-point lead. Charles Mitchell, long 3, rims out. Azor flies high for the rebound. That's his 2nd of the game. John Martins Jr. up top to Zancan. Fed down low. Nice spin move from Percy, who can't finish with the right-hand hook. Mitchell to the long-haired Walsh. Now to Henry. Charlie Mitchell trying to make a move. Step back 3, no good. Hits off the top of the backboard, and you're just seeing the Corsairs being able to fly defensively and just match up perfectly with the Beacons. Tommy Burris, Malik Lorquette coming back in. Charlie Mitchell and Michael Walsh coming out for the Beacons. Still an 18-5 lead. UMass Boston now scoreless over their last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Azor floats it out to Martins Jr. Shut off, swung up top to Seabloom. Back to Martins Jr. Seabloom now with a 3. It's short. Batted out to Mitchell. Burris gets his hands on it. Good defensive stance there from UMass Boston. Charles Mitchell. Long 2. Can't get it to drop in. The scoring drought continues, and a turnover on the other side. .10 left here in the first half. 18-5. UMass Dartmouth leading. UMass Boston now scoreless through their last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Brooms in the paint, blocked by Percy. Azor swings it up top, Percy. 3 on the way, off to the left. And it's poked away. Now a 2 from Seabloom is good. 20-5 the lead now. That's now an 18-2 run for UMass Dartmouth. The Beacons looking for answers. 3 from Brooms, no good. Rebound, Burris. He can't finish on the follow-up attempt. There's a lid on the tin right now for UMass Boston. They cannot find anything offensively. Azor flings it out to Seabloom. Seabloom swings it left side. Martins Jr. 3 on the way, no good. A foul will be called now against Percy, and with that, we'll have a timeout on the floor. 20-5, the lead for UMass Dartmouth. 11:04 left here in the first half from the Clark Athletic Center. Back after this on the LEC Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Playback underway from the Clark Athletic Center. UMass Dartmouth has jumped out to a 20-5 lead over UMass Boston. Charles Mitchell, right wing, dribbles under a screen from Bryson Henry. Now to the baseline. He's shuffled back out. Marquette now with the basketball. Hits it off his right foot. They're actually going to say it's last touched by the Corsairs. So the shot clock is at 15. UMass Boston looking to end a scoring drought of over 5.5 minutes, and Lorquette steps out of bounds. Similar deal to what we saw in the women's game between UMass Boston and UMass Dartmouth, with UMass Boston just struggling to string together baskets in the first part of the game. UMass Boston on the women's side, they scored just 12 points in the first half, picked it up a lot in the second half, but still fell by 13, 62-49. Azor. Shot clock at 18. Spins in the paint, kick out. 3 from Martins Jr. is in and out. Charles Mitchell the rebound. Bouncing it to Henry. Henry, call for a travel. 5 turnovers now for the Beacons. Isaac Percy to trigger it in. 15-point advantage for the Corsairs, who are looking to improve to 16-2 on the season. Looking for back-to-back Little East Conference Tournament championships after winning it all last year. Before that, their last championship was 2009. Azor shuffled out back to the perimeter. To Martins Jr. Now Percy driving. He has it poked away by Henry. Alua attacking and is fouled. So an opportunity for the Beacons to end that scoring drought that's over 6 minutes now. Alua to head to the line for 2 shots on the season. He comes in 26 of 43. First of 2 in and out. Emmanuel Zayas comes into the game as Michael Walsh comes out. Sean Leahy in the contest for UMass Dartmouth. Coming out, Michael Azor along with Isaac Percy. The foul went against Mike Earhart. Shot does not come in. Dalen Sanders-Dyer, by the way, in the game for the Corsairs. Seeing his first minutes of the night. Still a 20-5 lead for the Corsairs. It's been an 18-2 run for UMass Dartmouth over the last 9 minutes. Bounce pass to the corner. Leahy shut off on the baseline. Out top to Sanders-Dyers. Now it's Martins Jr. in the lane. Offensive foul. Great job to draw the charge by Alua. And despite UMass Boston scoring woes, UMass Dartmouth, they're now struggling to score. Last points came in this game over 2 minutes ago at the 11:38 mark. Came on a 2-ball by Adam Seabloom. And a turnover. Sanders-Dyer is able to pick the pocket and lay it in. 22-5 the lead now. And the run just continues for UMass Dartmouth now at 20-2. Charles Mitchell to the corner. To Zayas, back to Mitchell. Thought about a three, now in the lane. Bounces it out, and almost another turnover. Shot clock is at 8. Alua, kick out. 3 from Burris, no good. They need to check that basket because UMass Boston has come close so many times to ending this scoring drought. It just hasn't happened. Ashworth's 3, it's an air ball. Bobby Joy into the game for the first time tonight. Charles Mitchell coming out. So it's Burris, Charlie Mitchell, Joy on the floor, Alua, and then Henry. Henry to a cutting Joy. Back to Henry. Henry's blocked in the paint. Goes back out to Burris, and his 2 is good. That ends the scoring drought that ended up going over 8 minutes of action. It's 22-7. Tommy Burris with 5 points for UMass Boston. He's shooting it well to start. He's also knocked down a 3-pointer. Ashworth layup attempt is good. 24-7 the lead. Henry to Charlie Mitchell, swung left side to Joy. Pass back to Charlie Mitchell. Mitchell right hand hook falls in. Pretty play there from Charlie Mitchell, who's on the board. It's now 24-9. Sanders-Dyer's 3 is good. Second 3-pointer for the Corsairs. It's now an 18-point lead. Charlie Mitchell, floater in the lane. Beautiful play again from Mitchell. He has 4 points. Take that, make it 6, and it's now 27-11. Sanders-Dyer out to Martins Jr. Fed down low, and a foul called under the basket. Urquhart went for 2. He was hit on the way up. 2 shots coming. Michael Lua whistle for the personal foul. With that, we'll take a break. 27-11. UMass Dartmouth on top over UMass Boston. 6:43 left here in the first half. Back after this on the LEC Network.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
6:43 left here in the first half. 27-11 this score. UMass Dartmouth on top over UMass Boston. Second game here at the Clark Athletic Center today. On the women's side, UMass Dartmouth beat UMass Boston 62-49. First of two shots on the way from Mike Urquhart, and the first one's good. Second free throw attempt up and in as well. So 29-11 the score as Jackson Zancan comes back into the game. Urquhart comes out. Charlie Mitchell brings it into the front court. Has it left wing. Joy. Look to whip the pass down low. It deflects into the hands of Lorquette. Lorquette finishes with the right hand. Nice play by Malik Lorquette. It's a 16-point game. Lorquette with his first 2 points of the night. Seablum puts it on the deck to the corner. Leahy fakes the three. Shut off from the paint. Bounce pass to the other side. Zancan, right hand hook. Off the heel. Brooms had it, lost it. Two from Leahy is good. 31-13. Corsairs leading by 18 now. Here's a three from Brooms. Too strong, over the back. And it's Corsairs basketball. Well, look at some of the early numbers. The Corsairs 13 of 24 from the field. They are just 2 of 8 from downtown. But on the other side for UMass Boston, they are 6 of 24 shooting overall and then 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Here's a three from Sanders Dyer. It hits off the heel. Sanders Dyer already has a three-pointer tonight. Couldn't connect on his second. So it's still an 18-point lead. Mitchell bounces it to Joy. To the corner now on the far side for Mitchell again. Trying to weave away a defender. Floater. No good from Brooms. Joy almost had it, then had it taken away. Ashworth up top, three from Zancan, spills out. Burris flying high for the board. Zancan got off to a hot start in this one. He still has 6 points. Mitchell puts it on the deck, draws contact, and finishes off the top of the glass. Charlie Mitchell having a night. He has 8 points. Zancan double teamed out to Leahy. His three off to the right. Lorquette the rebound. Mitchell to Burris. Back to Mitchell, who's had the hot hand tonight. Brooms with the basketball with 14 on the shot clock to Lorquette, the big man. Going down the lane, has it stripped away. Corsairs on the break. Right under the basket, Seablum cannot finish. And a huge break for the Beacons. And Mitchell's fouled on the other end. With that, we'll take a break. A little bit of life from the Beacons. Down by 16. How about the start for Charlie Mitchell? 4 of 6 from the field, 8 points. 3:51 left in the first half. Back after this on the LEC Network.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Charlie Mitchell with 8 points for UMass Boston. He's been the bright spot for this Beacons team. He's going to trigger it in for UMass Boston. The Beacons down by 16 against UMass Dartmouth. Mitchell with the basketball, flipping it out to Zayas. As the Beacons look to cut this deficit. Charles Mitchell at 3, nothing but net. Charles Mitchell with his first bucket of the night, and it's now a 13-point game. He saw his brother get in on the action the way he did. Charlie Mitchell, 8 points, and Charles said, I want to get in on it too. Azor feed down low, tipped out. Out to the perimeter. Azor with the basketball again. Long two. Clanks off the rim twice. Lorquette gets the rebound. Three minutes left in this first half from the Clark Athletic Center. Zayas puts it on the deck, shut off by Azor. Charles Mitchell, another three. He knocks it down again, and it's a 10-point game. Timeout taken, UMass Dartmouth. The Mitchell brothers bringing the Beacons back to life. The 32nd timeout for UMass Dartmouth. Ryan Baptiste for the first time tonight watching his team out there against this Beacons club and not liking what he's seeing. It was such a great start for UMass Dartmouth in this contest. And now the Beacons have fought back into it a little bit, and it started with Charlie Mitchell knocking down a couple of shots, and now Charles Mitchell with back-to-back three-pointers. But this was a 22-5 game at one point, so a 17-point lead. That was the largest lead that, I beg your pardon, the second largest lead is UMass Dartmouth actually had at 31-13. So it's been an 8-0 run since then for UMass Boston. Under 3 minutes left here in the first half. Play back underway after the timeout. Azor left wing. Floats it up to the top of the key for Zanken. Seablum to Zanken, back to Azor. Shot clock at 8. Azor to a feeding Leahy, or to a cutting Leahy, and he's fouled on the way up. Emmanuel Zayas whistled for his first personal. That's now 5 team fouls for UMass Boston. 2 shots here for Leahy, who comes in 15 of 19 from the free throw line this year. First of 2, doesn't fall. That's been an issue so far tonight for UMass Dartmouth. Just 3 of 7 from the free throw line. They come in as the best shooting team from the charity stripe in the Little East Conference. They're also the best from beyond the arc, and they're just 2 of 12 from distance. It's an 11-point lead now for the Corsairs. That second of 2 was good. Charles Mitchell puts it on the deck, throws it up and in off the window. Charles Mitchell with the last 8 points for UMass Boston, and it's now a 9-point deficit. Seablum feeds it down low. Leahy's tied up with Burris, who just takes it away from him. Zayas to Charlie Mitchell. On the baseline, out to the corner. Burris, a 3. No good. Zanken the rebound. That would have cut it to 6. Floated down to Leahy. Lorquette on him. Good defense as he's able to stay right in front of him and make that shot difficult for Leahy. So it's still a 9-point deficit. The Mitchell brothers both with 8 points. Charles Mitchell hits the ground. Back up, feed to Zayas. Shot clock at 7. Zayas floater, good off the glass. 7-point game. It was 31-13. And now it's a 12-1 run for UMass Boston. Under the basket, good move by Zanken to put it up and in. He leads the Corsairs with 8 points, 34-25. Charlie Mitchell to Lorquette. He almost lost it. Mitchell's able to get it back on the baseline, throws it out to Zayas so he doesn't step out of bounds. Shot clock at 6. Zayas throws it up. It goes in and out, tipped out. Charles Mitchell has it, goes toward the basket and is fouled. What fight from the Beacons here to end the first half. They were dead in the water, but now down by 9, and they have an opportunity to cut the deficit even further. As Charles Mitchell goes to the line for 2 shots where he's been fantastic this year. Already knocked down 51 3-pointers on the season. And the first of 2 is good. Bryson Henry coming into the game. So 34-26. Second of 2. No good. Tip in there from Henry, doesn't fall. So the lead is at 8 for the Corsairs, trying to push it back up to double figures before the half comes to a close. Marcus Azor splits a couple defenders. Bounce pass down low, and Seabloom lays it in. That ends the first half. So the lead pushed back up to double figures for UMass Dartmouth, but some fight from UMass Boston after being down 31-13. They've at least been able to cut the deficit to 10, and that's in large part thanks to the Mitchell brothers, who have combined for 17 points. We'll pause for a short break. We'll have a chat with head coach Jason Harris right after this here on the LEC Network.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center. Joe Wow with you, head coach Jason Harris alongside. Coach, overall thoughts on the first half from your team?
UMass Dartmouth's #1 team in the league, got the player of the year, probably the coach of the year. You need a better start than that. That's my thought. We need a better start than that.
You did get some good performances from the Mitchell brothers. What did you love what you saw from them despite falling down early?
Yeah, I don't know if there was a ton that we loved all the way around. I don't know if we loved any of it. The only thing we loved is we were able to kind of get back into it and make us down 10. But, game 1, we were down 10 at the half and lost by 30. These guys have just been going on 20-0 runs against everybody. Again, we're going to have some more accountability here in the second half. Very similar to a few of our other games that we struggled in the first half. We're gonna have to change. If we don't change, if we do the same thing in the second half, we're going to lose by at least 20. I'm telling you right now.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for the time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank
you. Just heard from UMass Boston head coach Jason Harris, and obviously they'll want to not get out to the same start in the second half that they did in the first half. So UMass Boston trailing here at the halftime break. We'll see if they can get back into it in the second half. Coming up next, though, in our halftime coverage, we can play back to UMass Boston's last game, which was against Plymouth State University. They did win that game 69-63. So we'll play those highlights, come back, and have more halftime coverage right after this here on the LEC Network.
cause I beat the soul. I love her, the way she is, the way she are, my superstar. And I pray that you never change. You stay the same, cause I love just who you are. I ain't gonna try to change it. You are a shooting star. That's why you are my favorite. I love just who you are. I ain't gonna try to change it. You are a shooting star. That's why you are my favorite. Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nah, baby girl, that's a shooting star with your name. I ain't gon' lie. I told a lot of lies and played a lot of games. But with you, it's not the same. For you, I'm a ride. I want you by my side. I feel like them girls, I want you to move. I'ma tell you one more time. I'm a band. You were there through the pain. You stood right by me. Thanks to you, I survived. I guess it's true what they say. Love is blind. We together to the day that we die. Till death do us part. Baby, you my heart. They can take all the houses in the car, but they never take my superstar.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
And the Spartans turn it over, 2-on-2 the other way. Dixon, he bowls from long range, and hits the blue ball. That is her 100 three-point attempt of the season. Castleton tries to answer, Green goes through a double team, and draws the foul. On the side, got that rebound for three. Nailers it way out. Dixon cracks it down, and a nice pass inside. A series of picks. It's Dixon. What a great play design for Farina.
Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, so, and UMass helped me.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
As we take a look now at the halftime stats here from the Clark Athletic Center, where UMass Boston is trailing 36-26 over UMass Dartmouth. And the Corsairs are just shooting the basketball extremely well. They're 15 of 32 from the field, 2 of 2. They are just 2 of 2 from downtown. So they've done a nice job, that being the Beacons, of guarding the three-point arc. But the Corsairs are just one of the best scoring teams in the conference. You heard head coach Jason Harris say that at the halftime break, and he said we haven't done a whole lot well, even in asking about the Mitchell brothers, who we'll get into in a moment, for UMass Boston. He said, UMass Dartmouth, they have one of maybe the player of the year, and that's Marcus Azor, and maybe the coach of the year, and Brian Baptiste, and they've been fantastic so far today. And the Corsairs have certainly shown that with how they played overall in this game. They are dominating the rebounds as well by a margin of 28-21, and then on the assist side, they have 6 compared to 4 for UMass Boston. So in the end, it's been a great game for UMass Dartmouth. They have come out and already performed extremely well, and it is why they've jumped out to a 10-point lead. Let's take a look now at the team leaders on both sides, and we'll start with UMass Dartmouth. Jackson Zancan with 8 points. Adam Seablum also pitching in 8 points. Several players with 4 rebounds already in this game. It's Azor and Zancan with the 4 rebounds for UMass Dartmouth. On the other side, how about the Mitchell brothers? Charlie Mitchell has pitched in 8 points, and then Charles Mitchell has pitched in 9 points. Usually it's Charles Mitchell who's really the scorer on this team, but both have been huge for UMass Boston to just stay in this game at the very least. And then on the rebound side, 2 players with 4 rebounds, Tommy Burris and also Charles Mitchell in this contest. So that's where we stand, 36-26 the score. Here at the halftime break between these two teams and what is the second game between both UMass Boston and UMass Dartmouth. The first game went to the Corsairs on the women's side, 62-49. And on the men's side, obviously, it's a 36-26 score. Let's take a look now at the highlights from that first half. And it really was all UMass Dartmouth to start in this game. They jumped out to a 22-5 lead and then ended up building it out and ended up being a 10-point lead as UMass Boston got into that. We're actually going to nix on the halftime stats. Would like to mention we have a ton of fantastic people on the production staff here for UMass Boston, and we'll get to praising them in a moment because today is National Women and Girls and Women in Sports Day. So let's first praise the women's team because we got some highlights to play from their win last Monday against Castleton. So to honor the great women that are here at UMass Boston and all they do within the sports realm, let's play some highlights from their last game. That was last Monday against Castleton. Ended up being a 23-point victory.
And the Spartans turn it over. 2-on-2 the other way. Dixon, he pulls from long range. And hits the three ball. That is her 100 three-ball attempt of the season. Castleton tries to exit on the other side. So they didn't have to throw it off. Green goes through a double team and draws the foul. On the side, got that rebound. The three. Railers its way out. Dixon cracks again. And a nice pass inside. Coming around a series of picks. It's Dixon. What a great play design for Karina. Resets doesn't think about the shot. Now goes into the double team where Dixon still burns away. Karina. Inside. Green goes inside. That's a clean move. Picked up on the roll. Karina. Well off the mark. Duchargine gets blocked from behind. Dixon picks it. Ball flying free. Basketball. Gotta give him more credit than that. The Beacons forced the turnover and the up. Duchargine Green. What a pass. Thought about that for a second before thinking better. Sullivan checks Dixon. Shooting 12. Beacons coming out on fire. Green. This is his long. Gonzalez. Back to two. Pause. Somebody moves. That is moving at the moment for the Beacons. Beacons have Dixon to raise something. What a great hesitation. Move and block. Right side. Nice pick from behind. Dixon's going to have an easy way up on the other end. 20 minutes. Karina. Dixon. Spins. Lays it up. And it hit the mid-range jumper. A couple leads on the 14. Dixon. Try to cross over Karina. No such luck. Gives off the buzz. Who lays it in? Sullivan. Wide open. Karina. Dixon. And then Negro starts. Here comes Negro again. How about that flick? And got it as low as 10 after that 9-1 in the first half. A pass from Dixon. Dixon. Switching on the very top. There's a pass to Sonny Green. To Jashari Green for 2. Inside. Top finish. Inside 22. Gets in. That's the Brooks. Off of their out-of-bounds play. Dixon gets past one defender. Gets two. Plays it. Now it's a step. Balloon inside. Block from behind for Dixon. Then kicks to Charlie Green. Takes it off the bounce. Misses the up. Goes up for a second look. Dixon. For three. Yeah! Down by Negro. Second look at it. Dixon. Off the dribble. Gets inside. What a pass from my side. There it is. Dribble drop. Dixon. Brooklyn. Gonzalez. Didn't see her as much in the second half, but had a great first half.
Here's the upcoming schedule for UMass Boston. They have a game coming up next against Plymouth State University. They had just played them as we played the highlights for you earlier, 69-63 victory only a couple days ago. And then they travel to Castleton University before coming back home to play Rhode Island College. The score here at 36-26, UMass Dartmouth on top of UMass Boston. And once again, just want to wish a happy National Girls and Women in Sports Day today, and big thank you to all the great people we have on our production staff, all the women that work for UMass Boston and the athletic side, and got a great show from the women's game in the earlier game today here at the Clark Athletic Center. Now it's the men's taking center stage here at the Clark Athletic Center, and we'll see now if the Beacons can climb back into this game after what head coach Jason Harris was saying was a tough first half for his club at the halftime break. Playback underway, UMass Boston moving right to left. Charlie Mitchell handing the rock off to Emmanuel Zayas. Zayas open for three, no good. Ball tapped out of bounds by Burris, so it will be Corsairs basketball. UMass Boston in that first half was 11 of 34 shooting, and then 3 of 11 from downtown. The Corsairs were held to 2 of 12 from shooting in the beyond the arc area. Azor able to lay it in off the window. It's now a 12-point lead for UMass Dartmouth, with the Corsairs 2 of 12 from beyond the arc, and then 15 of 32 from the field. Charles Mitchell down low to Lorquette on the block. Moved around nicely. Zayas fakes the three. Bounce pass down low. Lorquette can't finish. Azor to Seabloom. Back to Azor. Bounce pass to Leahy. Now great ball movement from the Corsairs. Ashworth up top. And it's a kick ball called against Lorquette. So shot clock at 20 now. It's going to be triggered in by Seabloom. Ashworth floats it up top to Leahy. Now a three on the way from Ashworth. It's nothing but cash. 41-26. Third three-pointer of the night for the Corsairs. Ashworth now with 5 points. Mitchell back to Zayas. To the corner. Burris attempts the three. No good. Not enough on it. Outlet pass forward to Seabloom. Seabloom stripped by Mitchell. Last touch by the Beacons, so it's going to stay Corsairs basketball. 18:24 left here in the second half from the Clark Athletic Center. The Beacons, as an athletics department, just hoping to split the two games here at the court today. Seabloom. Bounce pass to Azor, swung to the corner. Leahy three off the mark. Beacons looking for their first points here in the second half. Lorquette out to Zayas, to the corner for Burris. Mitchell puts it on the deck. Step back three on the way and good. Charles Mitchell from downtown. He now has 3 3-pointers on the night. What a beautiful shot. It was in the air for so long and then fell right through the net. Leahy to Zancan. On the right block. Tried to get it to Leahy. It went right through his legs and it goes out of bounds. So good defense from the Beacons. Far from out of it, with especially as much time as there is on the clock. Zayas attacks. Now bounces out for Mitchell. Hits off of his leg, and Azor is able to steal it away. Third in the conference in steals per game, and an easy two on the other end for Zancan. He's been able to get some pretty easy buckets, and he now has 10 points. First player in double figures for the Corsairs. Lead up to 14 for UMass Dartmouth. Lorquette trying to power through a couple defenders. Out to Mitchell. His three, no good. Clanks off the side of the mark. Leahy taps it out of bounds. So it's going to be Beacons basketball. The Corsairs at 50% right now, 18 of 36. Lorquette, top of the perimeter. Out to Charlie Mitchell, to Charles Mitchell. Shot clock at 9. Mitchell to Burris. Burris, left wing three. Clanks off the heel. Out and running of the Corsairs. Ashworth tried to find Leahy. It hits off of Leahy's hands. Now here's Azor to the rim. He can't get it to finish, or he can't get it to fall, but what a great attack from Azor. Here's Charlie Mitchell. He's tied up, and a jump ball will give the Corsairs basketball after this media timeout. The possession arrow is pointing in their direction. 43-29, Corsairs leading over the Beacons. 15:51 left here in the second half. Back after this on the LEC Network.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
.43-29, UMass Dartmouth leading over UMass Boston. The Corsairs with the basketball coming out of the media timeout. Azor swings it left side to Adam Seablum. Now it's Percy with it, back to Azor. He drives on the baseline, left-hand layup good. Pretty play there from Marcus Azor, who head coach Jason Harris of UMass Boston had just said at halftime he could be the player of the year of the conference. Certainly has the statistics to back that up. Among the top 5 in points per game, rebounds per game, assists, steals per game. Mitchell's three clanks off the heel. Lorquette with the steal right back. Athletic play there from Malik Lorquette. Here's Zayas, one dribble, three on the way. It's short. Burris able to grab the rebound, and the Beacons will reset. Charlie Mitchell now in the corner, attacks in the paint, puts it up and in. What a great play there from Charlie Mitchell, who has 10 points. One of 3 players in the game in double figures. His brother Charles with 12, that leads all scorers. And Azor loses his footing, and it goes right into the hands of the Beacons. Here's Lorquette on the attack, and he's fouled. So Zancan will go to the line, or beg your pardon, Zancan whistled for the foul, and it will be Lorquette going to the line for 2 free throw attempts. 45-31. Still plenty of time for the Beacons to climb back into it. Lorquette at the line this season, 29 of 66. First of 2 is good. Lorquette comes into this game the leader in the conference in block shots per game and also 4th in rebounds per contest. He has 3 rebounds today. Been held in check, though, for the most part. Second of 2 is good. The Beacons will certainly take that. Lorquette going 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So it's a 12-point deficit. 3 from Zancan, no good. Azor able to get the loose ball and lay it in. Marcus Azor with 10 points, 5 of 7 from the field. Lead back up to 14 for UMass Dartmouth. Lorquette puts it on the deck and is swatted away by Percy. On the break, Azor, right block, and a charge called. Azor whistled for the foul. Good job by Charlie Mitchell to get back and draw the charge. That's Azor's first personal foul. 47-33 still the score. Charles Mitchell, left wing, bounce pass to Lorquette. With Zancan on him, backs him down, right hand hook, no good. It falls out on the right side of the rim. Almost went in. Zancan has it right block. Onto the basket, fouled by Brooms. That's Brooms' first personal foul. First team foul for UMass Boston here in the second half. 47-33 still the score. Bounce pass down low. Last touched by UMass Boston. It was a bounce pass intended for Zancan. Azor to trigger it in. To Ashworth, who's going to reset it by getting it to Seabloom. Seabloom puts it on the deck. Long 2 off to the left. Lorquette goes up with the rebound, but now Mitchell touches it last as it goes out of bounds. So just like that, Corsairs basketball once again. 4 rebounds now for Malik Lorquette. Ashworth, top of the key, out to the left side, and now bounce down low to Percy. Back to a cutting Zancan, banging a bucket for Zancan. He has a chance to increase this to a 17-point lead for the Corsairs. Jackson Zancan with 12 points, a chance to make it 13. Tommy Burris comes into the game along with Ike Alua. Malik Brooms out along with Malik Lorquette. The foul went against Brooms. He now has 2 personal fouls. And one opportunity doesn't fall. And speaking of fall, Alua fell to the deck trying to get that rebound. He's able to keep his feet in bounds and then get it off to Burris. 16-point lead for UMass Dartmouth. Burris top of the arc. Hands off to Charles Mitchell. Mitchell, floater in the lane, falls in. Charles Mitchell is such a polished scorer. He now has 14 points. On the attack, Percy blocked by Alua. On the other end, Mitchell to the corner. Zayas, a dribble, a 3, no good. Percy loses it. Mitchell takes it away. 4-on-4. Charlie Mitchell, left-hand hook, strong off the window. Zayas bats it to Azor, who tracks it down in the corner. Seabloom down low to Percy, and a foul called under the basket. Foul's going to go against the Lua, who now has 3 personal fouls. (49-35). Feed goes right down low to Zancan, who muscles it up and in. Zancan with 14 points. That's tied for the game high along with Charles Mitchell. He's been the star for UMass Dartmouth tonight. Corsairs up by 16. Mitchell floats it up and in off the glass. Looked like he lost his dribble and then picked up the basketball and chucked it up. 12 points for Charlie Mitchell. Lead back down to 14. Azor, bounce pass down low. Seablum lost it, but then it hit off of the hands, or it looked like it hit off the foot of a Beacons player, so it's going to still be Corsairs basketball when we come back. 11:35 left here in the second half. 51-37. UMass Dartmouth leading over UMass Boston. Back after this on the LEC Network.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
.35 left in the second half, 51-37. UMass Dartmouth on top over UMass Boston. Play comes right to Seablum, who almost lost it. Now Percy in the paint, back out to the perimeter. Three from Martins Jr. is pure. 54-37, Corsairs up by 17. Charlie Mitchell orchestrating the offense, finds his brother Charles Mitchell. Swung up top to Alua. At the free throw line to Charlie Mitchell. He pulls up for two, and that shot falls in. What a night for Charlie Mitchell. 14 points, 7 of 11 from the field. He and his brother have kept the Beacons in this game. Foul on the floor. Going to go against Alua. That's now 4 personal fouls for Alua. Team fouls now for UMass Boston. Still 15-point game. Zancan puts it on the deck and lays it in. Jackson Zancan continuing his impressive night. He's got 16 points. On the other end, Henry lost it for a moment. Charlie Mitchell to reset the offense. Jackson Zancan killing the Beacons tonight. Charles Mitchell, fadeaway three is good. Charles Mitchell has been dazzling from beyond the arc, 4 of 6 from three-point range. He's got 17. Azor with the answer on the other end. He now has 12. It's a 16-point lead again. Charles Mitchell steps in with 3, has it blocked by Azor. Azor feeds it down low. Percy lost it. Seablum picks it up. That'll slow things down for the Corsairs. Now Zancan tries a 3. Everything else has been working for him tonight, but that shot doesn't fall as it hits the front of the rim. 58-42. Beacons trying to cut the deficit at least to single digits before the next media timeout. Fade away from Alua, and he's fouled. That's a way to make something out of nothing. It's Ashworth. Check that. Percy who's whistled for the foul. His first personal. And 2 shots coming down for Alua. Alua's 0 for 2 from the charity stripe tonight. Comes in 26 of 43. First shot goes. Jake Ashworth back into the game along with Mike Urquhart. Jackson Zancan getting some rest. What a night he has had for the Corsairs, leading the way with 16 points for UMass Dartmouth. Adam Seablum also out of the game for the moment for UMass Dartmouth. So both shots fall for Alua from the free throw line. We've been stuck in this low double-digit range for a while. Been back and forth at being at the same spot, with UMass Dartmouth holding a pretty significant lead over UMass Boston, but not completely pulling away. Jake Ashworth back into the game. Fade away two, and he's fouled. You can hear Bryson Henry say, "Oh my God," after that last foul, clearly frustrated. The foul wasn't even against him. It was Charlie Mitchell who was whistled for the personal foul. 5 team fouls for UMass Boston. First of 2 from Ashworth is good. Second free throw up and in. So once again, it's just been 14-point, 16-point, 12-point deficit for UMass Boston for quite a long time. Almost a turnover there as Charles Mitchell picks it back up. He falls to the deck. It's batted out to Lorquette. Henry now has it in the corner. And it's going to be a turnover by the Beacons. Great defense again from the Corsairs. For UMass Boston, that's now 12 turnovers. The time to chip into this game for UMass Boston is continuing to dwindle. 60-44, Beacons down by 16. Azor, left wing, down low to Percy. One-on-one with Lorquette, 224s battling. Goes back out to Azor. He puts it on the deck, hits it off his foot. Burris is able to grab onto it, but now he's tied up with Urquhart. And it's going to be Beacons basketball. Possession arrow pointing their way with the jump ball call. $8:19 left here in the second half. Lorquette, Burris, both Mitchell brothers, and Zayas on the floor for UMass Boston. Charles Mitchell on the deck, in the lane, hits it off the side of the backboard. Azor to Ashworth. His three clanks off the heel. Martins Jr. the rebound. UMass Dartmouth will reset. Azor attacks out to the perimeter. Swung around. Now here's Ashworth's three. It spills out. Another offensive rebound, though, for the Corsairs. Martins Jr. down low. Percy makes contact with Zayas. It's going to be last touch by UMass Boston. So it will stay Corsairs basketball. And that stoppage of time, we'll take a timeout. UMass Dartmouth leading by 16 over UMass Boston. It is 60-44. 7:36 left here in the second half. Back after this on the LEC Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
UMass Dartmouth on top by 16 over UMass Boston. 7:36 left here in the second half. It is 60-44. Triggered into Jake Ashworth. Dribbles it out to the perimeter. Now Isaac Percy's three is good. It's now a 19-point lead for the Corsairs. Bobby Joy to the corner for Emmanuel Zayas. Floats it out to Tommy Burris. Now Bobby Joy a three, and he answers. Bobby Joy with the triple to cut it down to 16 again. First bucket of the night for Bobby Joy. Percy puts it on the deck. Stops at the right block. Good defense from Burris. Out top to Azor, who has been efficient tonight. 6 of 8. Turnaround jumper. Make it 7 of 9. What a polished offensive player Marcus Azor has been tonight. And really all season. Lorquette to the basket. Puts it up with the right and lays it in. Good move there from Lorquette. Still in that spot of being in command for the Corsairs, yet not quite out of it for the Beacons. Azor to the baseline, shut off by Zayas. Has it stolen away by Joy. Joy feeds to a cutting Zayas, who makes contact under the basket. No foul call, and now a foul is called on Burris, who had it under the basket. Going to be a foul on the floor, and it will go against Mike Urquhart. That's his second personal foul. 14 fouls for UMass Dartmouth. Joy comes out. He did knock down a big triple, and he did make a nice steal. So good play there from Joy, who's back at the scorer's table to check back in. Zayas, top of the arc. Backs himself down. Turnaround jumper. That's good. Emmanuel Zayas with a nice play in the paint to make it a 14-point game. 65-51. Sanders Dyer to Percy. Back out to Sanders Dyer. Sanders Dyer with the shot clock at 8. Attacks, feeds it down low, foul on the floor. Now they're going to say offensive foul. Charge called as Sanders Dyer made contact. It looked like it was with Tommy Burris under the paint. Not quite sure who it was for UMass Boston, but still great defense from the Beacons. So it's a 14-point game still. Charlie Mitchell loads it to Zayas. Zayas open for three. And it falls in. Emmanuel Zayas with a triple, and it's an 11-point game. First triple of the night. He was 0 of 4 before that one fell through. Crowd trying to get into it a little bit. Percy to Ashworth. Shot clock at 9. Ashworth, step back three. Leaves it short. Charlie Mitchell to the rebound. Mitchell attacking and finishing. Charlie Mitchell for 2. Make it 16 points on the night. And the deficit cut to single digits. UMass Dartmouth wants a timeout. They'll get one. 4:24 left. Here in the second half, UMass Boston making a nice run. A 12-2 run over the last 3 minutes. All of a sudden, they made it a game. Down by 9. Back after this on the LEC Network.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
A 12-2 run for UMass Boston has them down by just 9 now against UMass Dartmouth. The Beacons trying to knock off one of the best teams in the Little East Conference this year, the reigning champ in the Little East Conference. Floated down low. Ashworth lays it in. Lead back up to 11. UMass Boston coming in 5-5 in conference play. UMass Dartmouth atop the conference standings at 7-1. Lorquette floats out Charles Mitchell. Under 4 left in this game. Joy puts it on the deck. Ball batted out of bounds by Sanders Dyer. Shot clock at 8. Adam Seablum coming into the game, and with us being under the 4, we'll take a timeout. 67-56, UMass Dartmouth up by 11. Back after this on the LEC Network.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
Playback underway from the Clark Athletic Center. 67-56 the score. UMass Dartmouth on top of UMass Boston. And 5-second violation against UMass Boston. A costly turnover for the Beacons, who are trying to climb back into this. They were able to do so, cutting this deficit to 9 thanks to a pretty lengthy run for UMass Boston. They were down as many by 19, 63-44. That was when the largest lead happened for UMass Dartmouth. And then the Beacons were able to climb back into it, cut it to single digits. Now it's back up to 11. Sanders Dyer bounce pass to Leahy. Zanken swings it left side. Sanders Dyer puts it on the deck, bounces it out to the corner. Seablum centers it. Fadeaway jumper is good. Adam Seablum with a huge jumper to push the lead to 13. Another turnover generated by the Corsairs. Sanders Dyer out to Ashworth rather. And now Seablum has it again. Under 3 minutes remaining. Sanders Dyer puts it on the deck, guarded by Zayas. Spins in the paint, has it taken away. Outlet pass to Charlie Mitchell, who lays it in, beating Seablum, who was trying to make it back. Seablum floats it out to Sanders Dyer. You figure one more basket for UMass Dartmouth will be the dagger, and a timeout taken by Brian Baptiste, the head coach of the Corsairs. So about 2:30 remaining in the game. It is 69-58. A couple of statistics to rattle off for you from a personal side. Charlie Mitchell is 4 of his last 5 from the field, and what a game he's had. 18 points, that leads all scorers. Marcus Azor, though, on the other side, he has 5 of his last 6 from the field, and just talk about efficiency. He has certainly been that from the floor. Azor is 7 of 9 from the floor, 14 points, 7 rebounds. He's also pitched in 3 steals and 2 blocks. The leading scorer for UMass Dartmouth is Jackson Zanken. He has 16 points to go along with 7 rebounds. He has been huge in the offensive end, in the interior, where the Corsairs have gotten a lot of easy baskets. Zancan in the corner. To Leahy, who is fouled. Going to go against Bobby Joy. So that's now 16 fouls for UMass Boston, one away from putting UMass Dartmouth in the bonus. Azor up top to Leahy. Sanders Dyer now puts it on the deck. Shot clock at 10. He attacks and had to bat it away. Now it's Leahy under the basket who lays it in. Lead back up to 13 and a big basket for Leahy. He has 7 points on the night. Charles Mitchell looking for the answer, finds Joy. Joy attacking on the baseline, can't get it to fall. Burris tries to put it back up. And a foul on the floor. It's going to go against UMass Dartmouth. Zancan will be whistled for the personal. That's his second personal foul. So now the Corsairs have 16 fouls. Out to Joy. Joy's knocked down a three-pointer in this game. He finds Charlie Mitchell. What a night he's had, and he's fouled, and that will send Mitchell to the line. A bad foul there from Marcus Azor, and now Charlie Mitchell will go to the charity stripe. 1-and-1 opportunity for Mitchell, who has 18 points on 9 of 14 shooting. Front end of a 1-and-1 is good. Ike Galua coming into the game for Tommy Burris. Second of two is able to rattle in. Now an 11-point lead. Azor has it taken away by Charlie Mitchell. Mitchell out to his brother Charles. Three on the way. It's an air ball. Breakaway opportunity for Azor, who gets tied up with Charles Mitchell. That was really the only play that Mitchell had. That would have energized the crowd if Charles Mitchell got that shot to fall, but he left it way short. Before that, it was a great steal by his brother Charlie Mitchell. Now the officials are going to talk over that last play, and I think they're going to decide on if it's a technical foul, but they're not going to say that. They're instead going to say that it was a foul on the floor, so it's actually a 1-and-1 opportunity, because that now puts UMass Dartmouth in the bonus, with UMass Boston having 17 fouls. Front end of a 1-and-1 from Azor is pure. Some high praise from UMass Boston head coach Jason Harris at the halftime break, where he said that we may be playing against the best player in the conference, and he was referring to Azor. You can certainly see the impact he makes in a game, both offensively and defensively. Charles Mitchell loses it, picks it back up. UMass Boston will have to work quickly, though, to try to cut into this deficit down by 13. 2 from Zayas, no good. Alua had his hand on the ball for a moment, but it ends up being brought down by the Corsairs. And you figure that'll just about do it tonight from the Clark Athletic Center. Beacon still battling. Outlet pass to Charlie Mitchell, who lays it in. 20 points for Charlie Mitchell. Now has a season high 20 points. His previous season high was 16. Corsairs beat the press and a layup. Seablum, easy two. Seablum now with 12 points. 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Still a 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Quick substitution for UMass Dartmouth, who will walk away with their 8th conference win and their 16th win of the year. Azor in the front court with it, guarded by Zayas. Finds a cutting Seabloom. Good find there from Ashworth to get it down to him. And another turnover for UMass Boston to add insult to injury. 15-point game, so the end result of 2 basketball games here at the Clark Athletic Center will be 2 wins for UMass Dartmouth. UMass Boston falling in both. It was the women's team first. And Marcus Azor is just going to dribble out the clock. The Corsairs continue to reign supreme in the Little East Conference. The reigning champs of the conference tournament win again. They take down the UMass Boston Beacons 77-62 in Boston. The Corsairs 16-2 overall, now 8-1 in conference action. And the Beacons now fall to 9-10 on the season and 5-6 in conference play. There were many times you saw the Beacons show fight in this one, but they just couldn't consistently keep it in single digits after UMass Dartmouth jumped out to the big lead. They were up 22-5 and really cruised after that, in which they were able to ultimately pick out come away with a 15-point win against UMass Dartmouth. We'll pause for a short break. We'll come back with some quick post-game coverage right after this on the LEC Network.
My name's Albie Daly. I'm from Able Park, New York. I'm a forward on the UMass Boston men's hockey team, and my current major is exercise and health sciences. Being a member of the men's hockey team is a tremendous honor, just because being able to play collegiate sport while pursuing my dreams of becoming a physical therapist and studying what I'd like to in school means a lot. My favorite memory as a member of the men's hockey team would probably be a big goal that I scored last year, the NCAA quarterfinals, ECAC's quarterfinals against University of New England.
What a turn in momentum!
Just because it was a big boost for both myself and our team moving forward.
Perfect shot right there over the shoulder of the goaltender Drost.
Frozen Fenway was just our outdoor game at Fenway Park, and it was a tremendous experience, I think, both for me and the guys on the team and, you know, the program as a whole. But we got to see the Red Sox locker room, which was an awesome experience, and just being at Fenway Park when you go to school in Boston is second to none, really, and that's what you look for, you know, when you're trying to experience collegiate athletics, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of. Being a student athlete at UMass Boston is a tremendous honor, just because it gives you the chance to really focus on your studies in a great academic environment while, you know, pursuing what you want athletically. So it's a pretty powerful thing.
I'm Alexa Capion. I'm from Racine, New York. I'm a junior on the women's ice hockey team, and I'm an exercise health science major. But when I got here, I met Coach Harris, and I saw the facility, and I met a couple of the girls on the team, and I pretty much got a feel of the program, and I knew right away that this is where I wanted to go to school. We have all league games for the rest of the year, so that's going to be a huge test for us. We need those points to hopefully come out with a good standing for playoffs. A couple of highlights from the last couple of years that I've been playing was probably last year when we won our first Codfish Bowl. We made history that year. I was really excited to be part of that. I don't have very many goals, but when I do score, it's definitely a big deal.
That's a goal!
For the past 3 years, we've had Emily. She is a member of the Team Impact program, and that's for children with illnesses that want to be part of a collegiate program. She's great. She comes and watches all of our games. She has her own jersey. She has her own stick. We've got her all this equipment. It's really awesome to have. She gives us a lot of motivation, and she comes in the locker room and talks to us before games, and it's really cool to have her here and be part of our team. When I graduate, I definitely want to go to graduate school, most likely for either athletic training or physical therapy. Our trainers here have definitely given me an insight about what it takes to be an athletic trainer. They're always on top of everything. They always know how to help us and what to do and what not to do. They're always there for us when we need them, and that's given me a lot of help with what I could be doing after I graduate, so that's nice to have them.
UMass Boston falls to UMass Dartmouth 77-62 tonight as you take a look at the final stats from this contest. And UMass Dartmouth came in as advertised, a great scoring team, and they showed it again tonight. 3 different players in double figures, but they shoot as a team 54.2% from the floor. They ended up only going just 5 of 21 from downtown, but they didn't really need the three-pointers. And then on the defensive side, they held UMass Boston to 37% shooting, 24 of 65. UMass Boston was also 7 of 24 from downtown. Looking at the rebounding, UMass Boston also fell in that category, 41-31 against UMass Dartmouth, which was just able to get a lot of second chance opportunities, points in the paint. UMass Dartmouth had 52, UMass Boston with just 28. This UMass Dartmouth team is just a very skilled team all the way around, and they certainly showed that again tonight. Turnovers, UMass Boston actually had less than UMass Dartmouth, so that was one positive for UMass Boston, and there were some individuals that had good nights for UMass Boston as well, but as a team, UMass Dartmouth just out-executed UMass Boston in this one, and that's a big reason why they won by 15 points. Let's take a look now at the leaders on both sides, and we'll start with UMass Dartmouth, of course, the winner tonight. And Jackson Zancan was the hero, 16 points. He did it on 7 of 12 shooting. You know you're going to get a great outing out of Marcus Azor, but you need those other guys to step up, and in this case, Jackson Zancan was one of those guys that stepped up. Marcus Azor, of course, another brilliant performance. 16 points, 7 of 9 shooting, 7 rebounds to go along with 3 steals and 2 blocks as well. He was phenomenal again. One reason why he is among the best players in the conference at this point and will likely be one of the top players to be considered for the Little East Conference Player of the Year award. On the other side for UMass Boston, I want to quickly touch on the Mitchell brothers. Charlie Mitchell with a season-high 22 points, and then Charles Mitchell, he had 17. So they really stepped up offensively. We know Charles is the leading scorer on this team, but Charlie Mitchell to pitch in 22, that's a pretty big performance out of him to go along with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. But Charlie Mitchell did it on 10 of 15 shooting in 36 minutes of action. So UMass Boston falls 77-62. They will be on the road for their next 2 games. It'll be against Plymouth State University and Castleton University before coming back home here on February 12th to take on Rhode Island College. That'll be a 3 p.m. contest. You can join us here on the LEC Network. Pre-game coverage will start at 2:45 for that ball game. A lot of people to thank to get this on the air, and you see it all right there. And just a ton of people to help. Thanks to Mary Jo, Gina, Nick, Colin, Lauren, Elena, and Danny. Great job, everybody. And especially, once again, I want to shout out all the women we have on our production crew. It's National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. I want to give them another shout out because they deserve it, and thanks for all they do. That'll do it for tonight's broadcast here from the Clark Athletic Center.